Your sister's party was so beautiful. When are you throwing one? Mom asked while cutting her chicken. I stopped eating and looked straight at her. Oh, I had mine already. Last year, actually. You just weren't invited. Her knife dropped. It hit the plate with a loud clang. My dad choked on his water. My brother's phone slipped out of his hand. Even our cat stopped licking herself. The entire room went silent. Like someone hit the mute button on life. I'm Riley. I'm 20 years old. And my whole life, I've been the daughter nobody remembers. The backup kid, the spare. My big sister Vanessa, she's the princess, the perfect one, the one everyone takes pictures of. Me, I'm like the extra in a movie. There but not really there, but tonight was different. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I just said what was true. And suddenly the whole world stopped. They wanted me to catch up to Vanessa, but guess what? I wasn't even in the same race anymore. I built my own game. And I was already winning. Nobody just noticed because they weren't looking. This whole thing started way before that dinner, before Mom dropped her knife, before I learned that staying quiet doesn't mean you're nothing. Sometimes it just means you're getting ready. I was 10 when Mom married Greg. That's when Vanessa showed up. She was 12, tall, pretty, the kind of girl who gets picked first for everything. Greg called her princess from day one. He bought her a pink bike the first weekend. For me, he said, "You like reading, right? That's nice." Like being quiet was my whole personality. Vanessa was the star of every room. I was the lamp in the corner. Teachers loved her. She won the school talent show. She got the lead in the play. When family came over, they'd ask about Vanessa's latest trophy. Then they'd look at me and go, "Oh, and how's school for you?" In that tone, that means they don't really care. I learned to just smile, to make myself smaller, to not ask for too much. When Vanessa left for college, I thought maybe Mom would finally see me. But nope. Every dinner was just Mom talking about Vanessa's sorority, Vanessa's internship, Vanessa's amazing new friends. I'd sit there waiting for someone to ask about my day. Nobody ever did. Silence became my normal, like elevator music. Always there, but nobody really hears it. I worked at a bakery after school. My clothes smelled like bread and sugar. Nobody asked how my shift went. One Thanksgiving, Vanessa came home with a designer coat. Mom pulled me aside and whispered, "You should be more like your sister. Look how she glows." I had been working double shifts to help pay the electric bill. But okay, sure, I smiled, like always, but deep down. Something was cracking, like ice on a lake that's about to break. Years passed like that, me being a ghost, Vanessa being WORSHIPPED like a celebrity. When she got engaged, Mom threw a party bigger than most weddings. She invited like 100 people, posted photos everywhere. When I graduated high school with honors, Mom said, "Good job, sweetie," and went back to planning Vanessa's bridal shower menu. I stared at my diploma and thought, is this IT? Is this all I get? But I didn't say anything. I never did. I got a job at a flower shop, making bouquets for people's big moments. Weddings, birthdays, apologies. One day, this woman came in crying. Her daughter had just gotten into her dream school. She wanted the most beautiful flowers. I spent an hour making this arrangement. Roses, lilies, baby's breath. She looked at it and started crying harder, but happy crying. She hugged me and said, "You have a gift. You made this so special." Nobody had ever said I had a gift before. That night, I stayed up watching YouTube videos about flower arranging. Design, color theory. I got obsessed. It felt like I found a secret part of myself I didn't know existed. Within a year, I was the top arranger at the shop. People would call asking if Riley was working. Brides wanted me to do their weddings. Suddenly, strangers saw me, even if my family didn't. By 19, I had saved enough to start my own thing. I rented a tiny studio, like really tiny. It was basically a closet with a sink, but it was mine. I called it Bloom & Co. My best friend Maya said that name was too fancy for me. She wanted me to call it Riley's Flower Shack because I'm terrible at being serious. Rude, but whatever. I painted the walls sage green, bought shelves from thrift stores, used my own money for everything. The first week, I had 2 customers. The second week, 5. By month 4, I was fully booked. Turns out when you actually care about people's special moments and don't charge them like $1 million, they come back. Wild concept. I worked sunrise to sunset. I learned to make things I'd never tried. Funeral arrangements, baby showers, even a flower crown for someone's pet. Yes, a dog wore my flowers. It was adorable. But here's the thing. I never told my family, not to hide it, but because I was tired. Tired of waiting for them to be proud. Tired of needing their approval like it was air, so I stopped waiting. Then I met Jordan. She came in needing flowers for her mom's birthday, but her card got declined. Twice. She looked so embarrassed. I said, "You know what? These are on the house. Happy birthday to your mom." She looked at me like I just gave her $1 million. We started talking, then texting, then dadding. For the first time, someone saw me, not the quiet girl, not Vanessa's sister. Just Riley. A year later, Jordan and I got a little apartment together. It was old. The heater made weird noises. The door to the bathroom stuck. But it felt like home. We painted the living room lavender, hung fairy lights everywhere. Got a fish tank even though neither of us knew how to take care of fish. Spoiler, we killed 3 fish before we figured it out. R.I.P. Bubbles, Nemo, and Gerald. One Saturday, we threw a housewarming party. Nothing fancy. Just close friends, homemade tacos, and a playlist Jordan spent 4 hours perfecting. Our friend Sienna brought us a cactus. She said, "This thing survives anything, unlike your fish." Ouch, true, but ouch. That night, our apartment was full of laughter, real people. People who knew my middle name, who remembered my birthday, who showed up because they WANTD to. Jordan stood on a chair and gave a speech. She said, "To Riley, who makes beautiful things out of nothing, including this relationship with me." Everyone laughed and cheered. My chest felt warm, not because it was some big fancy event, but because it was real. No fake hugs, no comparisons, just love. When everyone left, I sat on our lumpy couch feeling so full. Jordan flopped next to me. She said, "That was perfect. We're doing this every year." I smiled. "Sure, but you're cooking next time." She threw a pillow at my face. For the first time ever, I wasn't trying to be enough. I just was. And that felt like everything. 6 months later, my phone rang. It was Mom. "Riley, honey," she said in that voice she uses when she needs something. "Vanessa just bought a house. She's having a party Saturday. You need to come." I almost said no, but something in me was curious. I wanted to see what the big deal was, so Jordan and I went. Vanessa's house was massive. Like, did she buy a house or a small country? Huge. White everything, marble, gold fixtures. It looked like a hotel lobby. Cold and empty. Vanessa floated around in a fancy dress, hugging people she probably didn't even like. Mom was acting like she bought the house. She kept saying, "Isn't this incredible? Vanessa worked so hard for this." I looked at Jordan. She whispered, "Can we sit on anything, or is it all just for looking?" I snorted so loud. Mom glared at me. During the house tour, Vanessa showed off her walk-in closet. She looked at me and said, "This closet is probably bigger than your whole apartment, right, Riley?" 3 years ago, that would have crushed me. Now, I just smiled real sweet. "Yeah, must be exhausting keeping it all organized." Her smile froze. Jordan bit her lip to stop from laughing. Later, I caught my reflection in one of Vanessa's giant mirrors. Same face, same me, but different inside. She had the big house. I had the big heart. And I knew which one I'd pick every single time. The next few months were peaceful. Too peaceful. Then Mom called again. "Riley, sweetie," she said quietly, "I need to tell you something. Vanessa's getting divorced." I sat down slowly. Didn't say anything for a second, then I said, "I'm really sorry, that's hard." Mom kept going. "The house payment is too high. Her ex won't help with bills. She might lose it." Then the question I knew was coming. I was hoping you could help her, just temporarily. I closed my eyes. I remembered when I asked Greg for help with my studio rent. He said, "You need to figure it out yourself, Riley. That builds character." Now they wanted me to save Vanessa. "Mom," I said carefully, "remember when I needed help and you told me to figure it out alone?" "This is different," she snapped. "Vanessa has a mortgage. You didn't have that kind of pressure." "Actually," I said, "Vanessa bought a house to show off to people who don't even care about her. That's not my responsibility." The silence was deafening. Then Mom said, "I can't believe you'd be so cold to your own sister." I wasn't being cold. I was being honest. That night, Jordan asked what happened. I told her everything. She listened quietly, then said, "So your sister made dumb money choices and now your mom wants you to fix it?" "Pretty much." She nodded. "Yeah, no, you're allowed to say no. That's called having a spine." For weeks, my phone blew up. Texts from Mom, calls from Greg. Vanessa sent me this long paragraph about how family helps family. I wrote back one sentence. "Where were you when I was struggling?" She didn't reply after that. Maya called me laughing. She said, "Girl, half your family thinks you're a villain, the other half thinks you're a hero. You started a whole saga." I laughed. "I didn't start anything. I just stopped letting them walk all over me." She paused. "That's actually really powerful." "I know," I said. "I've been working on my comebacks." The truth, I didn't feel bad at all. For the first time ever, I felt strong. Boundaries aren't cruel. They're survival. And mine were finally up. Months went by. Vanessa sold the house. She moved into a smaller condo. And honestly, she looked happier, less stressed, more like a real person. She got a job at a nonprofit, started seeing a therapist, learned to cook without setting off the smoke alarm every time. She even sent me a text one day. "You were right. I was trying too hard to impress people who didn't even like me. I'm sorry I never saw what you built." I didn't reply right away, but eventually I wrote back, "Thanks. I hope things get better for you." Mom still calls sometimes, but the calls are shorter now, more careful, like she's scared I'll hang up. I don't blame her, I just don't need her validation anymore. Greg told me last month he's proud of me. Took him 10 years, better late than never, I guess. Jordan says I seem lighter lately. She's right. I wake up without worrying what people think. I buy myself flowers now. I take Sundays off. I laugh harder. I'm not trying to prove myself anymore. I'm just living, and honestly, that's the ultimate revenge. Here's what I learned. Being the quiet girl doesn't make you weak. It makes you a watcher. You're learning, growing, becoming someone incredible while nobody's even paying attention. Until one day you're not background anymore. You're the main character, and they're scrambling to catch up. If you've spent your whole life being compared to someone else, listen. You don't have to be like them. You have to be you, messy, loud, quiet, weird. Whatever you are, just own it fully. Stop waiting for people to clap for you. Build a life so good that you're clapping for yourself. That's the glow up nobody expects. Family should lift you, but sometimes they just hold you down. And it's okay to let go of people who only grab you when they need something. I'm not angry anymore. I'm not even hurt. I'm just free. And freedom feels like breathing after being underwater for 20 years. Bloom & Co. is thriving now, by the way. I hired 3 people. We did flowers for over 50 weddings last year. I even teach classes on Saturdays for teens who want to learn floral design. Jordan and I adopted a dog. Her name is Pickles. She's small, loud, and steals socks. We love her more than anything. Life's not perfect, but it's mine. And that matters more than any approval I used to beg for. So yeah, Mom asked when I'd catch up to Vanessa. Turns out I passed her 4 years ago. I just didn't announce it with a party. Because real success doesn't need a crowd. It just needs peace. And I finally have mine. I ran into Vanessa last month at a coffee shop. Total accident. She was ahead of me in line. Her hair was shorter. She wore jeans and sneakers, no designer labels, no fake smile, just Vanessa. We made eye contact. For a second, I thought about pretending I didn't see her, but she waved. We sat outside. It was awkward at first. Then she said, "I'm sorry I made everything a competition. I didn't realize I was hurting you." I nodded. "Yeah, it sucked." We talked for like an hour. Really talked. She told me she volunteers now, teaching kids art at a community center. I told her I teach floral design to teens. She smiled. "Of course you do. You always cared more than I did." Before leaving, she hugged me. A real hug, not the stiff holiday kind. She whispered, "I'm proud of you, Riley. I should have said that years ago." I didn't cry, but something lifted. Like a heavy backpack I forgot I was wearing. Forgiveness is weird. It doesn't erase what happened. But it makes tomorrow feel lighter. I forgave her. Not because she earned it, but because I deserved peace. Here's how this story ends. I'm 20. I run my own business. I have a girlfriend who loves me, a dog named Pickles, friends who actually remember my birthday, and a family that's slowly learning to see me. Finally, I'm not the backup daughter anymore. I'm not invisible. I'm just Riley. And that's more than enough. If you've ever felt like you had to catch up to someone, stop right now. You're not behind. You're just on a different road. And your road matters just as much, maybe even more. Because it's yours. The people who truly love you don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be real. And the ones who can't see your worth, they're not your people. Let them go. Build your life. Throw your party. Invite people who cheer when you win. And when someone asks when you'll catch up, smile and say, "I'm not chasing anyone. I already won." Because peace isn't loud. Success isn't always big. Sometimes it's just waking up and liking who you see in the mirror. That's the real glow up. The one that lasts. So to everyone watching, if you've ever been the forgotten kid, the compared one, the invisible one, I see you. Your story matters. Your win is coming. And when it does, it'll taste so sweet. Trust me on that. Thanks for watching. This is Iron Revenge. And remember, the best revenge isn't getting even. It's living so well they wish they'd seen you sooner.